Hey, hey, hey. Hey, 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 everybody. So I just got to tell y'all this. I didn't have to share, but I'm going to tell y'all anyway. So I went live at 8 o'clock, right? And yeah, I'm just sitting up here talking, getting into the meat and potatoes of stuff. And guess what? I never hit the live button. So I had to laugh at myself. That's never happened. But a way to start off the show, honey. So, hello, beautiful people. Hello, beautiful people. I hope that each and every one of you had an awesome and amazing day. Welcome to Beautiful Living with Keisa, where we dive into real life conversations about living fulfilled and empowered lives, right? I'm your host, Keisa, the beauty coach. I empower women to live beautifully in life, business, and style. And I'm so excited that you're here with me for tonight's episode. So, we often talk about living a beautiful, fulfilled life on this show. But what happens when life doesn't feel so beautiful? Hmm? What happens when life doesn't doesn't feel so beautiful? So tonight, we're going to dive into what to do when beautiful living feels unattainable. What are we doing? What to do when beautiful living doesn't feel unattainable? I'll be sharing several things that can help you reframe your situation and revive your sense of purpose when you feel like, or when life feels anything but beautiful, right? And so I'm a little discombobulated because I'm like, what is going on? So I'm gonna reset for a second because I got on here and started talking and realized I didn't even hit the go live button. Then I hit the go live button. Then I hear my echo on Instagram repeating everything back. And this has never happened. So guess what, people? Hello, beautiful people. And welcome to Beautiful Living with Keisa, right? Where we dive into real life conversations about living a fulfilled, empowered life. I'm your host, Keisa, the beauty coach. I empower women to live beautiful lives in life, business, and style. And I'm excited that you're here with me tonight. So, we often talk about living a beautiful, fulfilled life on this show. But what happens when life doesn't feel so beautiful? When you're going through challenges, disappointments, or times when things feels out of sync. We all face those moments. And it's so important to remember that you're not alone. So tonight we're going to dive into what to do when beautiful living feels unattainable. I'll be sharing several things that can help you reframe the situation and revive your sense of life feels anything but beautiful. Whether you're facing personal challenges, setbacks in your career, or just feeling overwhelmed, tonight's conversation is for you. So let's get into it. Let me start off by saying that every day is truly beautiful living. Okay. It's truly beautiful living. Yes, there are circumstances that are sometimes beyond our control that may sway the way our eyes see things and we see it differently. It's you go into that woe me. You are, you have a vision for something, but for the life of you, you're doing everything, but it does not look like what you envision your life should be looking like at whatever stage of life you're in, right? I know all too well all about that. I know all too well about that. I found myself in this very situation, okay? When I see whatever it is that I want, when I'm working towards it, I'm doing all the things and it doesn't feel like it's going to happen. I'm doing all the things and it don't feel like it's going to happen, right? So in those times, you need to know what to do. You need to know what to do. Hey, Miss Brown. Hey, Miss Brown, Miss L Brown 68. So number one, surround yourself with a support system. We were not created to do life alone. When life gets tough and you feel like you're struggling, the people around you make all the difference, right? So surrounding yourself with a strong support system. Let me tell y'all something. I be talking about, hey girl, hey, I be talking about my support system all the time. I am so blessed to have the people that I have in my life. Because when I'm in my seasons, when I feel like throwing in the towel, honey, it be those people that are in your life that, if you have the right ones, that be like, no, it's just a moment. You're going to get through that. No, and they are like your pillars that are lifting you up, that are pushing you forward. When you leaning forward, they pushing you back to stand up. When you leaning back, they catching your back so you won't fall. When you lean to the side, you got somebody pushing you back. That's my support system, right? So it's so important when you are going through life and life doesn't look so beautiful, that you have a support system, whether it's family, friends, or community of people who understand you, where you're going, because you communicated these things and it don't look like it. I don't know what I'm doing. Did I make a mistake? All these things that goes on when life doesn't look so beautiful, right? But they can help you to navigate those difficult times. So these are people who love you unconditionally, remind you of your worth, and offer encouragement when you feel like giving up. That's what my support system does, right? So first of all, we were never created to do life alone. So let's start there. So if you are in a season where you feel alone, you are out of alignment already. You are out of alignment already, okay? Because you were never intended, God never intended for us to do life alone, to go through struggles alone, to experience none of that by ourselves, right? There is a time for isolation. That's a whole nother conversation. But when you are going through and life doesn't look like you feel like it should, lean on your support system. Lean on your support system. Number 2, focus on one step at a time. When life isn't going the way we imagine, it's tempting to think about all the things we need to fix or change. Instead, I would suggest focusing on one next step. At my church, we have a thing. One next is one step. What's your one next step? So instead of thinking about all these things that got to be done, I always say, get it out your head and put it on paper. Write it out and say, this is what is the most important one next step I need to do in this moment. Breaking things down into manageable steps prevent you from being overwhelmed and helps you to build momentum. So you have to break it down and say, what is my one next step? I ain't telling y'all something that I just stumbled across. I live this, have lived it, living it, all of this. And I'm telling you the things that are helping me, have helped me, will help me to keep moving forward, because I truly know that every day is truly beautiful living. It is the perception of which we are viewing things when things are not going the way we feel like it should be going. So focus on your one next step, right? If it's 15 million things you got to do, write all the 15 million things out. And then you choose what's the most important one next step. And then you take and let it just build upon, right? So whether it's making a one phone call, whether it's tackling one task, or even asking, or even taking a rest to reset, right? Focusing on one single step keeps you moving forward when you're feeling lost in the bigger picture, okay? Number 3, get before the Lord. I wasn't even going to say it because I'm like, people should just know, right? People should just know. Hey, Lenny. Hey, sis. People should just know that they need to get before the Lord. So when you are in a season of life, when you are feeling like life is really lifing, ain't nothing about what Keisa talking about, all this beautiful living, ain't nothing about this is beautiful living. It is beautiful living. You have to change your perspective and exercise these strategies that I'm telling y'all to put in place. 1, surround yourself with a support system. I already went through why that's important, because you were not created to do life alone, right? They are there to catch you when you're leaning back. When you're leaning forward, they want to push you back up. You leaning to the side, you got somebody there on the side for you. You need those type of people in your life, and I'm thankful for the tribe that I have. Number 2, focus on one step at a time. At my church, like I said, we have this one next step. So what is your one next step? Don't try to focus on all these 15 million things at a time, right? Write it down and then choose what's the one next step. Is it making a phone call? Isn't it tackling one task? that's going to lead you to something else, right? You only you know about that, right? Number 3, get before the Lord. When life feels like it's crumbling, and it's going to, get before the Lord. When life feels like, Lord, I know you said this, but it ain't looking like what you said, get before the Lord. When life is just lifing, hunty, get before the Lord. There's no better source of peace, no better source of clarity, no better source of strength that brings you out of the struggle but God in the prayers. Okay? So sometimes we carry so much weight on our own, trying to fix things that we're not meant to fix, and we can't do it in our own strength anyway. But we don't have to bear the burdens alone, right? So through prayer and seeking God's presence, you can release all those burdens to Him. Leave it at the altar, honey. I always say lay it at His feet and keep it moving. Go lay it at His feet, and then you go do your one next step. Go lay it at His feet, and then you go do your one next step. And whatever that is, yes, sis, woo, right, that part. So whatever it is, okay, whatever it is, whatever you believing for, whatever you've been asking for, whatever you've been seeking in your quiet time, believe that all things are working together for your good. Romans 8:28. Remember that Jeremiah 29:11 says that God has, for He knows the plans that He has for you. So He already know that, they are good. It's just the season that you're in, right? It's the process, right? Amos 9:13 through 15. Y'all go look that up. Because when He does switch things around, it happens so quick. It happens so quick. I need you to go look at that scripture, Amos 9:13 through 15, and put it somewhere. So while you are going through this not so beautiful phase, that you have that to lean on. But know that Philippians 4:13 says, I can do all things through Christ. So you got this. You got this. Surround yourself with a support system. Focus on one step at a time. Get before the Lord, right? And then I want you to celebrate your wins. We forget to celebrate ourselves when we are going through it. Life be lifing. We have a lot of y'all have still kids that are still in school. My babies are all pretty much grown. I have a college one that's left. However, we can get so inundated with all the day-to-day stuff that we forget to celebrate our wins. For instance, I took a moment just recently because life been lifing this year, just throughout the year. Life has been lifing, right? And I took a moment to write down a little while back. It's been a minute, but I found the paper where I had started to jot down my wins, right? And it doesn't necessarily mean that they were like these extravagant things. Some of them were to me, but there might have been something that's really small, but I put it on there as a win. And I ran across that paper and I smiled because I was reminded of the things that I might have forgotten, because life has a way of making you forget about the things that you have accomplished, the things that you have achieved, or making it look so minute that it's not even, you just bypass it as something that just happened. And even yesterday I got on here because last week I celebrated the 12th episode of Beautiful Living with Keisa. And I had concluded that after I do 12 episodes, that would conclude a season. I would start a new one. So season was this episode 1 to season 2. That's what we're doing tonight. And I remember saying I wanted to celebrate, but life was lifing. And the weekend came and went, and I'm just like, I still wanted to do something to just acknowledge it. And I was on the phone with somebody, a friend of mine, and she said, well, you said you wanted to do it. Why are you still sitting there? Get up. I don't hear you getting up. So she talked to me all the way till I went to the store and got these little cute little strawberry little bundt cakes and some candles. And I put 12 in it. And I came back and did a quick little 6-7 minute video, just thanking you guys for tuning in and comments. But I was really celebrating something that I had in my heart to do many years ago. And then when I decided that I wanted to do it, it didn't look the way I wanted it to look. I wanted it to be in the studio. I wanted it to be where you can see my whole outfit for the day. I wanted it to be all these things, right? And I wasn't getting started. But when I did get started, I stayed consistent. And that was worth celebrating. And so take a moment, because we're in October. This is a homework assignment. This weekend, take a moment to write down things, big or small, that you have accomplished. Put it on a Word document. So as you continue to go through this year, when life starts lifing, you have something to remember. Go back and look at the stuff that you did accomplish, the things that did happen. And you keep praying on those things that you're waiting to happen. So, because it's so easy to get caught up in what's going on, what's going wrong in life. And it's not looking like the things that we hope for, right? But when you celebrate your wins, no matter how big or small, it brings a sense of, I got this. Because yesterday when I did that, I was like, honey, we got a show tomorrow. I got some other stuff to do, So it's very important that you do that, because even in those difficult times, there's always something to be grateful for. It's always progress being made, even if it's not obvious at first, okay? Did you get out of bed today? Did you make it through the day, a tough day today? That's a win. Did you cross something off your to-do list? That's a win. Even if it was just one thing, that's a win. Celebrate it. If you start focusing on those small wins, you're going to see how many wins that you truly get in a day, in a week's time, right? And it helps you to shift your mindset from feeling defeated to feeling like you're making progress. And that's empowering, because after I did that yesterday, I was like, I got another wind in me, okay? So that was number 4. So I said, surround yourself around support, whether that's friends, families, community, or whatever it looks like. Focus on your one next thing. So what is your one next thing, right? Then 3, get before the Lord. 4, celebrate your wins, big or small. 5, then practice gratitude. When life feels overwhelming or far from beautiful, because when life is be life and you don't be thinking it's beautiful, taking a moment to focus on gratitude can shift your mindset, right? So it may sound cliche, but identifying even small things you're thankful for, like a moment of peace, like a kind word from a friend or a stranger, or simply a new day, right? I'm thankful that God gave me the gift to open my eyes today, right? I'm grateful and thankful. I went to the doctor over the weekend to have some imaging done, but it's October and breast cancer month and all those things. And I called on Saturday to make the appointment, thinking I'll get something this week. And she was like, oh, you can come in today. And I was like, what? She said, can you please sleep out the house like right now? I was like, what? That is not what I planned on doing. But I did. And at the end of that visit, I got this little cute pink gift bag that I was not expecting, right? From someone, a stranger. And it was filled with all this pink stuff. That just made my day, because it was a lot of pink stuff. Hand lotion, soaps, and all those things. It was a nice gesture. I actually did a video about it, right? But that was gratitude for me, because she didn't have to do that for me. And it made my day. So that goes on the gratitude wall, right? And so gratitude also allows you to reframe your current situation and find beauty even in tough times, right? So that brings me to number 6. We're almost done, guys. Reframe your definition of beautiful living. You're like, what do you mean, Keisa, by reframe your definition? Reframe. Shift your perspective. Redefine what beautiful living looks like to you, right? Sometimes the idea of beautiful living needs to be reframed. We tend to think of life as it has to be perfect, right? And when it's not perfect, it's not beautiful. But the truth is, as I said in the very beginning, every day is truly beautiful living. So beauty exists even in the imperfect moments. It's about progress over perfection. It's about resilience. It's about growth. It's about learning to find joy and grace in the midst of the struggles, because we all going to have struggles. Some of y'all are probably in a struggle season right now. I ain't even ask you to put me in the chat. Some of y'all are probably in the struggle season, and it's no shame, because we all go through those seasons. So if you're not in a season, baby, get ready, because your season's going to come, right? Because that's just the cycle of life. Your season is going to come. So You can put these tools that I'm giving you in your arsenal, saying, okay, I heard her talk about this. I went in that season, so but I'm glad I was paying attention. Let me get to my friends. Let me focus on the one next thing. Let me go before the Lord. Let me celebrate these wins so I can empower myself in even in this light, right? Let me practice the gratitude. And then let me reframe my, the definition of beautiful living in this moment. It's about progress over perfection, right? So reframe what beautiful living means to you. Maybe it's about having everything figured out. Maybe it's not about having everything figured out, I'm sorry, but about showing up for yourself each day, pushing yourself through challenges and becoming resilient in the process, right? There's beauty in the journey, even if it looks different than what you expect it to look, even if it looks different than the vision that you have for your life. Doesn't mean that you need to change your vision. You hold tight on to that vision. You hold steadfast. It may just mean that you need to take a little detour on how you're going to get to whatever that said goal or destination that you're trying to reach, but never lose sight of the vision, right? You keep your eyes focused on what's ahead and you figure out the route with the Lord, should you be going left or right? But sometimes the most difficult moments in life are what shape us into the most empowered version of ourselves. Last, but certainly not least, trust the process. And it's in the process that people give in, give up, thinking, I thought I heard the Lord wrong. I didn't hear the Lord right. This is too much for me. I thought I wanted to do this, but it's too much work. I'm trying to tell you, because right now I'm an Amazon influencer, LTK influencer. I just got some brand ambassador thing. I don't even know what that is. I got 15 million things. And at one moment I was like, oh yeah, I'm not doing all this. This is too much. Yeah, I just can't. I thought that's what I wanted. No, it is. Go through the processes. Go through the process. Write it out. On top of lifing. Write it out. Write it all out. Make it make sense to you. And then you proceed with support, with gratitude, celebrating yourself along the way. Reframe what your definition of beautiful living looks like, and all the things. Focusing on the one next step. But you have to trust the process. And in the process is not where you're supposed to give up. In the process is not where you don't go rear in the process. You trust the process. But like I said, it may be some detours that you have to take in the process, but trust the process. Trust the process. If you're just tuning in with me, I decided to talk about when beautiful living don't look so beautiful. Because my platform is Beautiful Living, and every day I attempt to impart something around beautiful living into the lives of others, right? And in that process, I do understand that life doesn't always look beautiful, because I experience it too. But there are some things, strategies that you can do while you're in that process. It doesn't make it go away quicker, but it allows you to have a sense of, I don't want to even say control, because when life be life and most of the time you don't have no control of it, but a sense of peace per se. You surrounded yourself by people that love you. You focus on the one next thing, the one thing, not the 15 things. Focus on that one thing. Once you complete that, focus on the next thing, and so forth and so on. Get before the Lord, celebrate your wins, then practice gratitude, reframe your definition of beautiful living, and trust the process. Those are the strategies to successfully maneuver through those seasons where life from the eyesight does not look like what you thought it should. Because every day is truly beautiful. Every time you get to open your eyes, baby, that's beautiful living. Okay? It's just about shifting your perspective on what the things look like, right? And once you shift your perspective, you get a sense of I got this. This is what it looks like, but I know this is not truly what it is. It's still beautiful. But how can I navigate this season? Who, what, and who and what do I need in this season? Hey, India, thank you for joining me. Because, yeah, so who do you need in this season? I'm about to jump off now, sis, or cuz, sis. But so that is it for tonight. I hope that you all found this something that you can place in your arsenal when life be lifing and when beautiful living doesn't look so beautiful. Because I have been in the season myself and having to navigate that. Had it not been for my support season, my support, hey girl, my support system that I have in place, my friends, when I tell you, when I wanted to lean forward and they lifted me back up, when I leaned to the side, they pushed me back up. I am so thankful. And so you have to have the support while you're going through life, because God never intended us to go through life by ourselves, right? You got to have a support system. You have to celebrate your wins. Thank you, sis. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed it, Rhonda. Thank you, Lonnie. Thank you. She said, beautiful message. You have to really, really, really take hold, because when life is life, and that is the time when people want to give up. That's the time when people want to throw in the towel, when that is not the time. That is not the time to throw in the towel. It is not the time to give up. It's not. It's to put the tools in place. The tools that you have in place, you grab those tools. Okay, life is life. And where's my support system? Grab it. They may like a rake or a hoe, all right? Something that a tool. Okay. Life is still life. I got my support system, what I'm going to focus on. Because right now your mind is going all over the place. How I'm going to pay this bill, what this going to look like, why it's not doing this, why it's not doing all these things, right? All the things are going wrong. You got your support system. Sis, I need you to focus on the one next thing. What's the one thing that you can do today? Okay. Now you got another tool because you focused on the one thing. Then you want to get before the Lord. And I'm hoping you get before the Lord in all these steps, because you like, Lord, you ain't bringing me this far. I need your guidance, your wisdom. I need you to give me some Romans 8:28, Amos 9:13 through 15, Jeremiah 29:11, Philippians 4:13. I gave them to y'all. Go look them up. Okay. Those are the scriptures that are all around somewhere. Something right here on my computer to be reminded of where I'm at. God got me, right? Then celebrate your wins. I need you to celebrate every win. Write down everything that you've accomplished this year. I don't care how small it is. Write it down, because it's an accomplishment. It's an achievement. So when life be lifing, that's another tool. Okay, you know what? You trying to make me feel like I ain't nothing. Trying to make me feel like I haven't accomplished nothing. I ain't good enough. Let me go back and remind myself of all the things that I've able to accomplish. Oh, I did all of that. Oh, honey, let me go add the rest of this stuff to this. Celebrating those wins. Reminding yourself, me celebrating the 12th episode last night from last week from Beautiful Living with Keisa show. That was a achievement, accomplishment, and gratitude all in one, right? And then finding the things to have gratitude from. Like, you have to have gratitude. You have to have gratitude when life is life. And if you're not in that season now, your season is coming, because that's just the cycle of life. I just said that, right? And then reframe what beautiful living looks like to you, because it may not look like the picture frame that you already put. You put all this stuff in this beautiful picture frame. Okay, it's not for you to take it out the picture frame. Maybe it's for you just to shift your perspective. Okay, this is what I thought it should look like, but it's looking like this. What detours that I need to take? A detour, but I'm not going to lose sight of the focus of the vision, right? And so that's part of the process. And then last but not least, like I said, trust the process. So thank you so much for joining me tonight on Beautiful Living with Keisa. I know life can feel far from beautiful sometimes, but I hope tonight's conversation reminded you that even in those tough moments, there's always a way to reframe and revive your life. Remember, when beautiful living feels out of reach, lean on your support system, focus on one step at a time, get before the Lord in prayer, celebrate your wins no matter how small, practice gratitude, reframe what beautiful living means to you, and trust the process. Life is a journey, and every part of it, both struggles and the successes, is part of what makes your story beautiful. For more practical tips and how you can continue to grow and elevate in life and style, grab my book, The Journey to Beautiful Living, 7 Pillars for Living a Fulfilled Life. Also, to go deeper on your style journey, grab my ebook, Release the Style Within You, and follow me on LTK and Amazon. Those links are in my bio for more fashion tips. These resources are designed to help you embrace your authentic self, cultivate your unique style, and live out your purpose with excellence. Visit my website at KeisaCampbell.com if you're ready to live out your purpose, career, and show up in style and confidence. Beautiful living isn't just a destination, it's a journey we take every single day. It's about deciding what we want our lives to look like and taking steps to make that vision a reality. Every day above ground is an opportunity to make your life truly beautiful. It's not about perfection, but progress. Let's take this journey together, supporting and uplifting one another along the way. Don't forget to follow, subscribe, and share this episode with a friend. I'll see you next time for more real talk, inspiration, and empowerment right here on Beautiful Living with Keisa. Until next time, keep embracing your journey, keep living beautifully, and always remember, your next chapter is waiting for you to make it amazing. And know that beautiful living awaits you. Good night.